Our next presenter it couldn't be better timed. I'm just looking at the share price, it's up 41% today. So pretty exciting time for Waratah Minerals. We've got the Managing Director, Peter Duerden, to give us an update. Peter is a geologist and a mining executive with over 25 years experience in mineral exploration and development across a range of commodities, with a track record of developing successful exploration strategies with juniors and majors. He previously held senior roles at Newcrest and Alkane Resources, where he played a role in the Boda gold-copper discovery and led exploration in North Molong Belt. Peter's expertise is particularly focused on the East Lachlan mineral systems. He holds a Masters of Economic Geology and is a registered professional geoscientist and a member of the Australian Institute of Geoscientists. Peter, looking forward to this.
Thanks a lot. Excuse me. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, what an opportunity. Exciting times to talk about a gold discovery, an important gold discovery emerging in the Lachlan Fold Belt next door to Cadia Valley over east, and here in the heart of gold country in Cal. So keen to bring you straight into the excitement of today. So we've been, for the last 18 months, sort of executing a strategy around a different exploration strategy in an area that's been historically explored by several explorers, good ones, but I hope to show you that we're doing things differently. There's a reason why this discovery is unfolding now. And who can argue with these sorts of numbers? So, 250 gram metre hits underneath, not that inspiring surface anomalism, but we really like the geology in this area. This hole here steps out the overall Spur gold system, or the Spur gold corridor, another 500 metres. Has great significance in terms of the gold endowment of the Spur gold corridor, this hit. So let me step back, we'll come back to that pretty quickly. But the highlights of this company, it's driven by innovative thinking, a different exploration strategy. We like the tier 1 upside potential of the Spur opportunity. As I say, it's very close to Cadia Valley. And there's a real the donut of neglect concept around a large discovery like that. Hopefully I can communicate that. And again, as to a reason why we're making this discovery now. We've got a great team corporately. There's a great track record in terms of the board, and increasingly building a really capable technical team. Good stories attract great people, so we're really benefiting from that now. Proof of concept's been achieved. I think we can really definitely say that, and we're starting to demonstrate real serious metal endowment, gold endowment in particular. We're in a position now more than ever to accelerate and start to trigger more discovery events, start to demonstrate the true resource potential of the Spur gold corridor in particular. Great supportive, solid register there for a junior our size. That's we're in great shape. That summarises the story. It's been one of great excitement. There's been volatility there. We've been going as hard as we can, but of course trying to make careful corporate decisions in terms of when you're raising money. The acquisition of the project back in October, a couple of years ago, the market was a bit ho-hum about that, but we did a small strategic placement to some notable mining, West Australian mining people, and who've been great supporters going forward. Got Gladstone Mining there at the top of the register. Hole 7 mid last year was important, 57 at 2.5 with a sniff of copper. Was validating very, very quickly what it is, our proof of concept. As you can see, if you look in the detail, we've been making some other decisions around capital raising at higher share prices, which is what you want to see. Mobilised the second rig early this year, and then after the placement we did in May, off the back of some shallow copper results, a couple of 100 metres of over half a percent copper equivalent. There is a porphyry story here for sure, but as you'll see, the gold opportunity is compelling, so that's our focus in every regard. Third rig mobilised off the back of the May placement, 3 rigs operating currently, looking to ramp that up as of today's results. That's the board, plenty of geologists. Naomi's come on recently to beef up our legal M&A capabilities. But great track record. Andy's here at the conference with me, and Daryl, serious discoveries, especially with Ivanhoe and Friedland. So that's the part of the world we're dealing with. It's a long way away from here, but it's a real hot spot of mining and exploration investment. You're next to one of the world's great gold copper projects. Cadia Valley ramping up to 40 million tonnes throughput in a few years. It's a globally significant mine just over the hill from us. It just represents Australia's premier porphyry terrain. And I think increasingly, with the success, the brownfields discovery success that Evolution have had since they purchased Cal over the last 8 years, they've added another 11 million ounces to the endowment of Cal. It's gone from 3 to over 14 million ounces. So with great similarities to what we're finding at Spur, which is the gold epithermal system connected to the porphyry. It really is a hot spot. A lot of the junior grounds now, they're now in bed with some majors and some pretty big farm-in deals being done, mainly undercover opportunities, where the search space is, obviously a long strike undercover on some of these belts is worth chasing, but difficult for a junior to do that for very long. So you're starting to see the likes of Anglo Gold moving in. Evolution, of course, have been investing in mines, Cal and North Parks more recently. But you're seeing some other activity, and where we're playing here at the Spur project in the southern Molong belt, in that Cadia district, you're seeing Goldfields about a year ago moved in with an earn-in deal on the ground surrounding us. And of course, interesting times as Newmont take the wheel of Cadia Valley. Great potential. And this stems back to some experience, I guess, that I've had working on those opportunities in the same rocks. I think it's really underdone. You want your geology team to have a lot of experience in that belt of rocks. You learn a lot through failure over many, many years, and then every now and again you succeed. You recognise the key controls on mineralisation in the belt, and that's what we've done here. So the big magnetic image tells the story really well. So the big magnetic highs there, some of them represent fertile intrusive complexes, and so a lot of the porphyries and the epithermal is very, very closely associated with those in the belt. The devil's in the details, and it comes down to the resolution of your magnetic data. If you've got broad-spaced data sets and imagery, then you can say that the mineralisation sits within the big mag high. If you're looking at close-spaced, high-resolution magnetic data sets, the story becomes a bit more interesting. And every single one of the deposits in the Lachlan, and in the East Lachlan in particular, whether it's epithermal or porphyry, sits on the margins of that magnetic high when you get high-resolution data. So there really is, the story is underpinned by that different way of thinking. The search space is not deep undercover here. The search space is a different strategy. We're looking on the margins of those mag highs. It's really hard for geologists not to drill the big blob. Great results that we're getting very, very quickly. Once we did that here, this was the opportunity we bought into, so the proof of concept was quite easy to test. It's a shallow test. We can just get on and drill some of those areas. In this case, we had some historic mines along the margin of the magnetic high. And straight away, pretty much, or hole 2, I was particularly excited about the hole 2 result. The market didn't like that so much. It took hole 7 to kick us along, but very quickly we're getting 100 gram metre hits in some really interesting looking rocks. This slide talks to why we're doing it, why we're the ones placed to make this discovery happen. The area's been explored by some really great groups, technically strong groups, even from the 1970s. The Yanks Anaconda Copper were looking for porphyry coppers in this district. But again, drilling into the main intrusive complex into that magnetic high. Went through a period, not a lot happened, but over the hill from us, Ridgeway and Cadia Hill were discovered, and in sort of the late 90s. And they were in an interesting geological setting. They were off the shoulders of the magnetic high at Cadia Valley. So, one thing that's fair to say is if you drill that main mag complex at Cadia Valley, you don't actually find any of the ore bodies. So I hope that's coming through, because that's really what's driving this discovery, that way of thinking. And we call them wall rock hosted systems. So we're doing that. We're seeing interesting epithermal and or porphyry material. So rapidly demonstrating the scale, the nature of mineralisation, very, very similar to a place like GRE 46, which is a Cal ore body currently being mined and creating great cash flows for Evolution at the moment, as they do. These sorts of ore bodies, 100 gram metre hits, make great underground mines in particular, but in our case we've got it at surface. And we can see along that southern margin of the mag high, it looks like we've got a 2 kilometre zone, which we've been able to piece a puzzle together across a couple of faults and join it up. The position consoles, the hole 62, which we released today, which is the best result to date on the project. There at consoles, you can see as we cross the Essex fault, we're picking up the mineralised zone again there. Plenty of other targets to chase, but we're certainly very focused on that Spur gold corridor, where we see, that 2 kilometre zone. It's of the same scale as GRE 46. It's got the same nature of mineralisation. It's at surface rather than at depth. Really juicy looking veins and stringers. We see, a fair bit of visible gold in the mix. And we see some really interesting associations like tellurium and bismuth, so strong associations pointing to the fertility of the system. So you can start to slice and dice. The amount of drilling we've done now, we can slice this up and start to get a real feel for the scale of the growing system. You can see there hole 62 is quite a bold, that was our first hole into that console zone. It's quite a bold hole that was re-entered a couple of times. It was initially an RC hole, went to 200 metres. We liked the look of it. Great exploration decision making. We put another 200 metres RC on the bottom of that, took it to 400 metre deep RC hole. We liked the look of it at that point, and then the guys, we decided to put a diamond tail on it, and it was the diamond tail that delivered that result, which is quite deep at consoles, but it's fast tracking our discovery there that's unfolding now at consoles and adding a lot of ounces very, very quickly to the Spur gold corridor. These are some of the rocks that we're dealing with at consoles, so we see that as a major discovery. It could be concealed. There's very subtle sort of surface geochem at surface there. Great signs here in terms of evidence for the porphyry event, which is just like we see at Cal. We see a fair bit of visible gold in this zone, especially that bottom photo. You can see the orange halos around this vein of chalcopyrite, a veinlet, and there's visible gold associated with that chalcopyrite veinlet. Very, very good signs of fertility of the overall system. This has got a big magmatic engine driving it, this system. And you can start to get a sense for the continuity of mineralisation here. We will do screen fires on this material because we are seeing 8 occurrences that have been logged, visible gold within that zone. But certainly a pivotal hole for us and for the real gold endowment of that Spur gold corridor at the end of the day. The porphyry opportunity is there. We're not getting hung up on it. We're demonstrating that it's real. There are portions of the margins of the complex where you seem to get more of this preserved, the porphyry copper mineralisation, which is beautiful looking stuff. You see the overprinting epithermal gold veins, so you start to see how the systems are associated. Our focus will be on the Spur gold corridor. We'll ramp up drilling from 3 rigs, we'll put more rigs on it. Great use of shareholders' money when you start to appreciate the discovery cost per ounce that we're building there. And the most reasonable analogue to point to in the belt is GRE 46, which is the current underground mine at Evolution's Cal mine. It's of the same scale, as I say, ticks a lot of boxes as far as the style of mineralisation. And so we like what we're building there on the Spur gold corridor. It's a busy time. We pulled 3 geos over from Cadia. We've got 6 geos working on this now. We're pushing really hard. Really capable technical team that we're building around it. Start to do geomet work. You start some of the XRF images, building up knowledge around gold deportment. And we've got a PhD student. She's doing a great job. So we're doing, across the board, we're starting to bring a lot of good people along on this ride. So we think it's an important gold discovery that's emerging on the doorstep of Cadia Valley. It's at a time, corporately, there's a lot of investment in that area. It's a good time to deliver this gold discovery for all sorts of reasons. And we're in a position now more than ever to sort of hit multiple exploration fronts, multiple rigs. We're well positioned, our cash position is strong. So looking forward to driving it forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. I do have one question, given the hit today and the share price move. So you've got 3 drill rigs currently. What would, in a perfect world, where do you see that going to over the next sort of 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, well, we'll add more rigs for sure. In that time, we're getting more confidence in our geological understanding. As I say, multiple exploration fronts gives us great flexibility. And yeah, we'll continue to do extensional drilling. We haven't found the edges of the system, and then we'll start to do more infill target definition drilling. Naturally, we start to do holes that are more metallurgical holes. They'll be infill, so we'll be building the resource very quickly. But for the time being, that extensional drilling is going to be very important as we're just stepping out. So it's going to be an exciting sort of discovery to watch in that sort of time frame.
Thank you.